Yo, what is up guys, it's SpotTheOzzie here with round 10 to finish off our first season of Motorsport Manager. As you can see, I've also got my webcam up for face cam time. It's a lot bigger than the last time. However, there is another setting to make it bigger, but it will take up like half the screen. So I think this will have to do for now until we can come to some sort of compromise. Now we're running into the last round. I've already fit the parts to favour Elliot Marsh. The sponsor selection is Not a Fly, who gives me a 3.2 multiplier on the home ground that I'm at the Black Sea in Russia. So originally they'd be like 750,000. Because it's in Russia, it's 3.2 times. I have to get second or above. So we are going to be trying to get in the top 2, getting good dollar value out of it. Also coming second in the Constructors Championship, holding that spot, and possibly getting Chu from 4th to 3rd in the championship for as much cash prize money as we can to set us up for the next season. So, speaking of which, we are going to be going into practice. Now, I'm going to practice. I will skip it so we can go straight into the race and get this round running in this theme. Now, tell me, guys, I want to know from you guys, I've been listening to your comments, what you've been able to tell me. Do you prefer the fact I'm playing out my season where I tell you at the start, or do you prefer this type of video where we're straight in the race and we're getting down to the strategy and the nitty-gritty part of the round? So let me know in the comment section below, because I love hearing from you guys and I try to reply to every single comment that is left on a video. Alright, and we're back, guys. Here is the grid. First, second, we're starting 3rd for Marsh, and at the back of the grid you'll also see Nick Chu, because this is, again, if you haven't watched the earlier series, a reverse grid based on championship standings. Now that because Marsh started with the team halfway through the season, he was automatically at the back of the pack. So that's a bit of a hot tip to know. If you are going to race in the 3rd tier, be sure to change drivers mid-season on your 2nd tier driver. And we're off. Marsh is going to get away from the line. Not that great. He's actually getting bogged down. He's down in the 4th position. Might actually be 5th by the end of the first turn, but he's able to hold on to that 4th. And he's on a relatively aggressive strategy, on a push high engine mode strategy, so I'm not going to go conservative. We need to make sure that we get in the top 2 to ensure that we get that target of £2.2 million, which is a big payday for us. As for Chu, I'm just going to put him as a neutral medium because I want him to go the distance. If he does get taken over by these guys around him, that's not that big of a deal. I don't really mind. It's just about getting up ahead, playing it as a strategical race for him because we don't want to double stack behind Marsh. And he's going to push the distance out enough that if they do stop on the same lap, it's not going to cause them to double stack, causing Chu to lose out on the grid positions purely based on double stacking. So fastest lap just sent by Santa Ana. As you can see, Marsh is doing alright there. He's sitting in 4th. First place Santa Ana is starting to get away a little bit from the rest of the field. And as you can see, Marsh is going to be able to fight, hopefully get through Evans as fast as possible, who's already eaten up his tyres. As you can see, everyone's on a relatively same strategy at the front in terms of their tyre degradation. So I might look at changing that to a conservative mode. Look how the amount of tyre wear within the first lap is down to 50%. That's almost unheard of. I think he must have rubbed tyres with someone and that's what's happened, because everyone else is down that same 40, 59. Something's obviously happened where he's rubbed tyres and it's used up a bit of his tyres for some reason after the first lap. I'm going to have to put him in backup mode while also putting on the fuel burner, so we don't get, if we get anywhere near 25%, I'm automatically going to pit because he'll be losing too much pace. Now he's in 3rd. He's been able to get a bit of a gap. Dreyfus is behind him in 4th position, has fallen back a little bit, given that they're on a really extremely aggressive driving style, and it's chewed up the tyres automatically. This track must chew up tyres. It must really chew up the tyres here. I can't believe this. We might be able to get we'll get 2 more laps. As you can see, the fuel usage when they come around will be about 2.3, so in excess mode we will get 2 more laps. Chu wants to attack a little bit more. I don't want him to because I feel like that's a good window to be in at 53% in 3.2 laps. Although the tyre temperature isn't coming up to optimum range, I just don't want to use them that all at all. So I'd rather him sit there at the moment and kind of chill him up slowly. Meanwhile, Marsh is near that. He's really near that 25%. I'm going to have to pit him. I'm going to have to pit him really early. I'm going to put him on that strategy at the 4th lap. So let's pit. Let's look for tyres. 4 to 6 laps. I'm only going to fill to... I'm going to fill to 4.9 laps. I just feel like that's as long as these tyres can fit in. Everything looks good in terms of our park condition. So... yeah, I don't want him to lose out too much by not having the car in the window and those tyres at 25% or less. That's what the mobile app game goes by. If you get to 25%, you're better off pitting straight away because the tyre degradation is really bad. As you can see, Chu is already up to 9th position and starting to make some places. Everyone pitted early. Now, how are we looking? We can do one more lap. I'm going to put him in overtake mode, and I'm going to put him to conserve, so we can get around one more time without going down to 25%. As you can see, where does our boy Marsh come out? Marsh comes out at 2nd. He actually comes in ahead of Chu despite having a pit stop, so that was a great stop behind Santa Ana, and we want to put him on high engine mode because he has a bit more than the 4 laps it will take for his fuel to burn through. We might actually go to medium, just play a little bit conservative. We don't have to keep pushing. I feel like we should be able to get through. As for Chu, we are going to pit for him right now. He's done a great job holding up the field a little bit as well. And we're just going to hear a weird buzzing coming from my computer. That's just the graphics card kicking in. Don't worry about that. So, we're going to go to super softs again. Strategy, fast. Fuel conditions, 4.9 just to be safe. Park conditions fine. Tyre choice is good. And he's going to pit. So he's holding up El Sadet now. One Marsh is on the attack for Santa Ana. And you know, I'm pretty optimistic right now. I think we're in the right window. We've got the right tyres on a nice strategy. Chu's going to be chewed up a little bit because he'll fall back behind in that pack while he gets his pit stop. Let's have a watch his pit stop. Both are good and good, so it was actually a fast stop for him. And he's going to come out probably around 15th. Oh, there was a bit of a glitch there. 12th. Not too bad. He's done well. He's done well to come out at 12th. And at the moment, Marsh has dropped back to 3rd. He's up to 2nd. Will he get around the outside? We want to make sure we're getting that target window. That's all we really care about at the moment. We want that money at the end of the year. I think we're pretty confident in holding our 2nd place in the championship. But it's all about making sure that we get that cash money in prep for next year, setting up the car in the right window, building the right facilities, because that's where our car is lacking: engine power and gearbox. And we need to build a simulator and another infrastructure building to help assist that into the season. So Marsh is currently, he's on the back of them. El Sadat is very fast at the front. He's overtaking. Can Marsh get through as well? Yes, he does. He gets through to 2nd position. Can he hold it? He needs to be able to come out of this corner good. No, he doesn't. Sadat is able to hold that position, and Santa Ana is still in the lead. Doing a great job out there so far. Might just keep having a look around at Chu. Chu's in 13th, doing a good job as well. Marsh. It's going to be surprising to see what are the strategies for everyone else. They might go to 3 stops. We want to try and do it in 2. Although we might really be pushing it if we do that. We might have to go to the medium tyres. And as you can see, everyone goes in. So they're going to do 2 stops. 3 stops. Whereas we're going to do 2. So he just crosses the line in 2nd with 50%. I feel like we can push on the tyres a little bit more, get them in that optimum temperature range, and starting to really get on the back of Santa Ana, who has not pitted yet. Possibly on the same strategy that we are. I'm not quite sure yet. They might push one more. We want to go one more. We want to go one more lap. I'm prepared to go to low engine mode if that means we have to do it that way. Just to make sure we get around one more time. I'm really hoping he gets by because feel like Santa Ana is holding him up. I feel like Santa Ana is holding up. I'm going to have to go back to neutral. He's at 36%. Come on, Marsh. Come on, Marsh. Santa Ana stays out with us as well. And we have 1 lap of fuel. Exactly. Just below that. So we should be fine. He's going to start fading here. Santa Ana is currently going to keep pushing on. We are going to have to pit for Marsh. We're going to go to softs again. As for our fuel, we will go all the way. You know what? We're going to go to medium tires. I just want to be safe. We're going to go all the way and fill her up. Do a quick stop. Parts. Gearbox is looking a little bit iffy, but we're going to have to keep pushing on. Chew at the moment. Currently chewing his way through the field. Up in the 5th position. With all those pit stops out of the way, he will definitely be able to go 2 more laps. He will be in a good window come this race. At the end of the race, I feel like that's where his car's going to come on. So we might, given we want to go one more lap after this one around, we're going to have to go to conserve mode. Check out what Marsh is up to. Marsh still in 2nd, a bit of a gap to Santa Ana, who's not coming in the pits just yet. Yep, they're coming in the pits, so let's see if we're able to get in front in our pit stop. We have a good pit stop team. We've paid for them several times to get bonuses throughout the season. I want to see if Marsh is able to come out in front. This is going to be big if he can, and he does. He just gets out in front. Marsh is going to be able to take the lead, but Chu comes through in the lead right now. Technically, Marsh is leading this race, provided the guys in front of him still have to pit, and yes, they do. I couldn't be more happier right now for Marsh. Just to make sure he puts a bit of a gap out, I'm going to put him on to push for his driving style. These laps, medium, are going to last 6 to 8 laps. We only need 6 laps, so if we push to medium, we might be in that good window. Chew at the moment. What's going on with him? He's still in a very good window here. I'm going to have to pit him. We're going to go to softs. We're going to go to softs. I feel like he can do it. We need 5 laps of fuel. That would be good. Pitch strategy fast. We always want to risk it for the biscuit. That's the way I've been playing this game the whole time. A bit aggressive, but it's worked so far. He's holding up Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti? Is that how you pronounce his name? Is that even a Brazilian name? I don't know. Do they check these things out? Maybe. Marsh at the moment, he's able to pull a bit of a bigger gap to Santa Ana. Couldn't be more happier. Gerard is on softs. He's not going to be good come the end of this race. So Chu is coming out now. Let's put him on a neutral strategy. Excess fuel. See, it's gone up to 6 laps. There's some weird fuel bug, I think, in this game at the moment, but that's okay. Let's put him on high engine mode. Let's get him to blast out that engine as much as he possibly can. Get that fuel down so we can start burning up. Marsh is up in the 3rd position. Jefoyce currently having mechanical issues. Cavalcanti up front. Who's our risk factor? Now, technically it's Gerard who's catching on the back of him, catching on the back of Marsh. As you can see, the gap is currently being maintained, but as soon as Marsh goes on the brakes, following Jefoyce, he gets held up a little bit. He goes underneath him. Jefoyce was going in the pits anyway, so now this is Marsh's. We just want to ignore that. We want to keep going. I feel like we can still win this race. 4 laps to go. Let's go on to high mode. Into overtake mode. Let's burn off that fuel. We need this car to be as light as it possibly can be. Faster lap times when it's lighter. Faster lap times when you're going into overtake mode. As for the tyres, let's go to neutral and sit it in there. Valdez was on 55% of his tyre use, which is below ours. No mechanical issues. Gerard, no mechanical issues. Arbeloa, no mechanical issues either. So we're going to have our work cut out for us if we want to win this race. Now, it looks like Chu has quite a bit of excess fuel. He's using quite a bit in high mode, but we're going to push to overtake. As for Marsh, I'm going to put him in the medium mode. Will he need it? Yes, he will need it. We're going to have to go to low because he's just used up a little bit too much fuel on that lap. Just to bring it back a little bit, I've gone into conserve mode. Hopefully he can hold off Valdez, who I think is not going to be able to catch him. He shouldn't be able to catch him with those tyres, but you never know. with a gearbox issue, anything can happen for Marsh. I'm hoping he can just hobble on around enough times. He only needs to do it 3 more times. Lap 14, 15. With this lap 13, 14, and 15. So it's going to be tight for him at the moment. Chu, I'm going to put him onto high. Let's see how Marsh passes this lap. He's got 2.0 laps of fuel just around the end of the bend in conserve mode. Is it starting to rain? Yes, it's starting to rain quite badly. It's actually pouring out there. Look at that. That means the grip of the track is going to really fall away from these guys any minute now. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. I don't think many people will go in the pits, because as you know, it's only 2 laps to go. It'd be a complete waste. No one's on intermediate, as you can see on there. Dreyfus had to retire. Choosing 6th. Doing a good job. Senna Anna's back at 4th. He was our main competitor throughout that race. No. He is not coming into Inters. This is why I'm the manager, because these drivers have zero idea. Now, is he going to have enough fuel? He'll have enough fuel. He has exactly 1 lap of fuel as he crosses the line a little bit before it. He should be able to finish on that. He's going to be able to get that first position if he can just hold it. I want to watch what Chu's doing, because he's really important to our strategy. His tyres are used up, so we're going to go back to conserve mode for him. Excess fuel, so I'm going to put him on overtake. And he blasts his way by Antonov. Or John Stoddard, who looks like he's blown up and started to really slow down. So our boy Marsh is still coming around. He has excess fuel, low fuel at the moment. I just want to sit him in that window. Like, it's not about going as fast as he possibly can. It is just about finishing. As for Chu, a 6th position might consolidate him 3rd in the championship if he can hold that spot. And let's look at the other team, Beauchamp and Jar, who are Garuda Racing winning this championship. If only they were further back. One race before, we might have had a bit of an opportunity to take over. He's gone up to 5th. Chu is in 5th position. I didn't quite see that because I was looking all over except for him. And Marsh comes in 1st position. That is a $2.2 million payout for our team. Couldn't be more happier. As for Chu, we want to make sure he finishes really highly here. He's going to finish on like 0 laps of fuel and just make it around unless he gets caught up. He's going to block Antonov all the way. Chu finishes 6th, unfortunately gets past at the end of the race. But that's okay, I'm going to be happy with that. I'm really happy with that. His tyres are starting to wear in. 1st and 6th, I will take that any day of the week. That consolidates the 2nd in the championship. Big payday. That's what we want. Cash money. CMH cash money heroes. I'm loving that. Get out of that Schweppes. We need that sponsorship money. Might just put it in fast forward mode just to finish this race. Isn't it funny? This guy Evans starts pole every race, yet comes last somehow. I don't know. I'd be looking at picking a new driver. Here we go. Attaboy Marshy. So he's technically won the last 5 rounds in a row, bar the 2nd time he raced because of a technical, or the penalty, you know, an illegal part pulled him back 8 spots or whatever it was. It was some crap. But yeah, look at that. Optimum strategy. That's what I'm talking about. Let's look at the live timings. Who had the fastest lap? Cavalcanti, who seems to do that every race at a 128. That's really unfortunate. How's the championship standings? Unfortunately, Chu does not move up into 3rd. He gets 4th. Very solid for him. Ja, at the end of the championship, dropped back too many spots and goes 5th. Dropped back 3 spots that time. And yeah, wow. Team standings, we're going to finish a competitive 2nd. Only 11 points behind. If you think several races ago, if we didn't get picked up for those illegal parts, that would have been the difference. I can't believe how close this championship and what it's come down to. We nearly won our 1st championship on debut. That would have been... I would have been wrapped. I would have been ecstatic. Let's check the cars, make sure there's no scrutineering issues. 1 rule break. 10 spots. Please don't be Marsh. If it's Jar, I'm okay with that. Nah, it's Marsh. We lose out on the big payday. Unbelievable. Never run illegal components. We didn't need it. Oh my god, that is going to be a lesson. I've finally learnt my lesson. No more running illegal components. It's just not worth it. So what does this do to the championship? Choose finishes 4th. We still finish 2nd.